get the recording of the class. Okay. So this is as you all know that we are going to have this to be as our purely NCERT batch. Okay. Now, I have already told you in many introductions and in many discussions previously that our way of discussing the NCERT would be entirely different. We are not going to read the line by line of the NCERT. We will just pick the topics from the NCERT and we will elaborate those topics. This is going to be our philosophy, or this is going to be our modus operandi when we are having this NCERT batch, or when we will progress in this NCERT batch. This is the way we are going to teach, because what I believe that, suppose for example, today's class we have a topic related to 6th class NCERT. Okay, and the topic is about latitude and longitude. Okay, now today I will discuss this topic to such an extent that you need not to go through any other book. Okay, you need not to open any other resources to understand this topic, because if I restrict your knowledge to just a class 6 level, then it is going to be worthless for you for the examination. So we will elaborate this topic. We will try to elaborate every topic, and we will not repeat this topic if this comes in our higher classes also. Suppose for example you get the same topic in your 9th class. So we have already discussed this topic in a 6th class up to a great extent. So we do not need a repetition of the topic even if it comes in a particular class. Okay, so we will complete the topic up to every level of the NCERT. Okay, so today's topic is going to be latitude. Today's topic is going to be latitude and longitude. About the longitude and latitude we are going to discuss, and this is going to be our very first basic fundamental class about the geography. Okay, I hope some of you may be having an interest in this subject. Okay, and some of you may be planning to have this geography as your optional. It is one of the most popular optional and quite scoring also, and you can just see into the data from the previous year that we have a good number of the students who are opting this subject for their optional paper. Okay, and it's quite a scoring also, and very scientific subject also. The advantage of this subject is that it has a good relationship with your GS part. It has a good correlation with your GS part. Okay, but with due respect to all the subjects, I would say that that geography is not the only subject for your selection. There are many other subjects also, depending upon to your choice and your interest. Okay, you can choose any subject. If you do not find a geography appealing and interesting for you, then don't choose this subject, because it is a quite scientific subject. And if you find that you are more fascinated towards sociology or history or political science, then you can choose your subject accordingly. Okay, so this is our honest advice. And we have this NCERT batch. We have started this NCERT batch on 22nd. This is our 3rd class in progress for this batch. And as we have already told you that our classes would be on alternate basis. Okay, our classes is going to be on alternate basis. We will take one day as a Hindi batch and another day to be as a English batch. Okay, so same topic. Suppose for example today we can see some Hindi medium students are also here. Okay, so it is their comfort, they can come, there is no problem, because we have a sufficient space for the participants, and we have a sufficient bandwidth also for the participants, so there is no issue for their entry in any batch. Okay, but tomorrow also tomorrow we will repeat the same topic for latitude and longitude for our Hindi medium students. Okay, now this is our batch which we are planning to start related to online batch. It is going to be a complete foundation course which will consist of a nearly 8 to 9 months of preparation, and it will take around 800 hours of classroom guidance, and it is going to be a complete online batch, and which will cover all the nuances of the general studies syllabus. And we are also having our geography optional batch or live online batch. Okay, and you will also have a recording facility available. Recorded classes will also be available for you, and we are going to start this batch from 6th December, obviously 2021. And this is our test series program which we are planning, and if anyone interested, he can join our test series program also. Okay, now I'll move towards today's topic, and without wasting any your further time, I will jump to the today's topic. Okay, let me open the file and let me just a minute, guys. Okay, is it visible to all? Is it visible? Is it visible to all? Guys, is it visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think you can see the today's topic about latitude, longitude, and about the sun angle. Okay, I think this is clearly visible to all. Okay, if any student is having a problem in the visibility, then please check your setting. From my side, everything is okay. And please check your setting. There may be problem in your data or maybe some other issues in your phone. Okay, from my side, everything is beamed in a proper sense. Okay, now this is about the topic. This is about the topic related to latitude, longitude, and about the sun angle. Okay, this is going to be our topic of discussion today. And this topic latitude and longitude, you will find as a second chapter. It is a second chapter of your class 6 NCERT. I hope you people are having this class 6 NCERT handy with you. So the second chapter of class 6 NCERT, and the name of the NCERT is Earth, Our Habitat. This is a geography NCERT. Okay, Earth, Our Habitat. Okay, this is a geography NCERT. You can refer this NCERT, and this is a class 6 NCERT, and this is a second chapter of the class 6 NCERT. Okay, I hope all of you are having this NCERT with you, and you can just open the NCERT and just look to the chapter list, and you will find that the second chapter is related to latitude and longitude, and the first chapter is related to the solar system. Okay, if we have a time, we will discuss about the solar system also today, but I think this particular topic is very important for you. Now, before going into the detail, okay, before going into the detail, I'll just want to discuss with you the nature of the geography, okay, or what the geography is. Okay, so I'll take a blank slide and just try to explain you the meaning of the subject geography. Okay, so what is geography? Okay, everyone comfortable? Everyone comfortable? Everyone comfortable, guys? चैट में एक अंगूठा दिखा दिया करो सब लोग, जस्ट इन अ चैट बॉक्स. ओके, माइक खोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, जस्ट टाइप योर थम्स अप और जस्ट सेंड मी योर थम्स अप to communicate me that the things are going in a right direction. Okay, there is no problem in the audio and the visual side. Okay, I think one student has raised the hand, and let me listen his concern. Okay, your name is, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि आपका नाम क्या है. The person who has raised his hand can unmute himself and can tell me what the concern he or she is having. कोई इशू है तो आप अपना बता सकते हैं जिसने हैंड रेज करा है. हैंड रेज का मीनिंग यहाँ पे क्लास में ये होता है कि that you have some point to discuss with me, or you have some issues in the class, or some things you want to get it clear. Okay, otherwise do not raise the hand. Okay, if you raise the hand, then open your mic and ask the question. Okay, otherwise do not raise your hand. Okay, so Jitendra Kumar, if any issue, you can open your mic. Open your mic, and if any issue is there. ये क्लास के अंदर में थोड़ा सा मुझे सबको ये सिस्टम बताना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज कोई भी हाथ उठाता रहेगा और क्लास डिस्टर्ब होती रहेगी. ओके, चलिए, तो अभी तो ये डेमो क्लासेस हैं, तो वी हैव गिवन अ लिबर्टी टू एवरीवन, बट लेटर ऑन in a proper batch we will decide the code of conduct, and the students will comply with all those code of conduct of the class. Okay, so the point here is the starting point of today's class is to understand what is geography. Okay, what is geography? Okay, what is geography? Any idea about geography, guys? Any idea about geography? What is geography? Any idea about geography? कि भूगोल क्या है? What is geography?
So we can say the study of the earth.
Okay, okay, very good. Hamid, please you continue. Hamid, what is geography?
Yes, sir, we can say the study of the earth and physical relief within future.
Okay, okay, स्टडी ऑफ द अर्थ। हामिद, तुम्हारी आवाज बिल्कुल साफ नहीं आ रही है, थोड़ा सा अपना माइक सही करो, मुझे बिल्कुल आवाज तुम्हारी साफ नहीं आ रही है। ओके, तुम्हारी कुछ माइक में प्रॉब्लम है। ओके, इज देयर एनी आइडिया? ओके, इज देयर एनी आइडिया अबाउट व्हाट इज ज्योग्राफी गाइस?
सर
एनी आइडिया?
ज्योग्राफी इज
सर
नथिंग,
स्टडी
इट
ऑफ
इज
अर्थ ही क्यों, पूरा यूनिवर्सल है ना।
Okay, 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 okay. We got your point, Sukhdev. We will discuss this point also. Yes, please, Muskan. Any idea about what is geography, Muskan? Any idea?
Study of our surroundings.
The study of Earth's surroundings. Okay, 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 okay. Any other idea? Any other idea, Martin or Nirmal or Sheikh Aisha, or any other idea what the geography means?
Sir,
What is the meaning of geography?
ge-
Yeah, K.
geography
Santosh, please continue.
scope is determined by the individual study area.
Please repeat. Sorry, please repeat.
Geographical scope.
Okay. Okay.
ge-
Okay. So I'll explain. Okay. I hope most of you have given your own idea about the geography. Study of places. Vaidehi Kohli has written that study of places and environment, a relationship between people. That is a very
sir, actually if we know about geography, it is nothing, it is simply about what we study about our surrounding, what we
but
study about our
we need to
earth,
have
what
a
we study about our जितने भी हमारे पास मतलब जो रिलेशनशिप है बिटवीन एन ये हमारी लिविंग बीइंग के बीच और नेचर के बीच, मतलब वट एवर वी सी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू प्लांट्स, वट एवर वी सी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू अवर बॉडीज नेचर विद अर्थ, इसके सराउंडिंग जितनी भी हम मतलब
but we need to have a very substantial definition also. We can elaborate
in
the area.
simple,
We can elaborate the area of a subject.
yes
But
yes
we
yes
need
sir.
to be having a very workable definition. Then only we
yes
can
yes
study
yes
the
yes
subject.
sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
Okay.
इन सिंपल वर्ड हम यही कह सकते हैं, मतलब जो हम मतलब स्टडी करते हैं, मतलब ये अर्थ वगैरह से मतलब इस स्टडी को ही मतलब ये नाम जो मतलब दिया गया है वो
Okay.
ज्योग्राफी दिया
Okay.
गया है।
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now you got the point that geography means study of Earth. Okay. A study of Earth. This is a basic meaning of the geography. That geography is related to the study of the Earth. Okay. Now, in the geography, we are not only concerned about the study of the Earth. We study about the universe also. Why? Why we study about the universe? Because when we are studying about the Earth, there are certain connections or there are certain phenomena which are taking place over to the Earth, which are having their connections outside the Earth, or they are not having any connection from the things or the causes taking place over to the Earth. They are having their connection from outside the Earth. So that is why we sometimes include those areas of the universe also, which are generally studied by the other subject, but we take it to be as a part of the geography. Okay, but the basic work of the geography is, or the fundamental tasks of the geography is to study about the Earth. Now, over in this Earth also, we can define the area of a geography as a study of Earth surface. Okay, as a study of Earth's surface. Now, Earth's surface are of two types. Jitendra, you are repeatedly raising your hand. If you have any doubt, then you can please unmute your mic and can discuss with me. Okay, but do not do this kiddish work. A study of Earth's surface. Okay, and Earth's surface are of two types. Earth's surface are of two types. One is called to be as a natural surface, and another is you can call it to be as a man-made surface. Okay, natural surface could be taken in terms of mountains, valleys, okay, plains, and man-made surfaces could be taken in terms of settlements or cropping, roads, infrastructure. They all are connected with the man-made part of the surface. Now you can see that over to the Earth, we have a differentiation. Differentiation. Differentiation means variable character. Variable character means the surface of the earth, surface of earth is not uniform. You got this point? Is not uniform. You do not find the similar type of the surface at all the places of the earth. The earth surface is not uniform. Okay, we have a variation on earth's surface. And geography tend to study about these variation. Tend to study about these variation. Okay, tend to study about these variation. Jitendra, I'm asking you for the last time. If you have any doubt, okay, please ask your question, but do not raise your hand repeatedly. If you have any doubt, please ask your question. This is the last warning given to you, Jitendra. Okay. Now, geography, we can say that it is a study. It is a study of these variation. It is a study about these variation. Okay. Just a minute. I'm removing one candidate because he is repeatedly, I think he has given his mobile to any kid or something else is there, but he is repeatedly creating a disturbance in the class. Okay. Okay, so geography, you can say it is a study of these variations. Now, as I discussed with you, that the surface of the earth is not uniform. Surface of the earth is not uniform. Okay, and variation on the earth's surface, variation on the earth's surface. Okay, the variation on the earth's surface you can find very easily, and these variation on the earth's surface are studied into the geography. Now, what is the meaning of these variation? What is the meaning of these variation? Abdul, what is the meaning of these variation? What is the meaning of these variation? Guys, I love to teach only when the student participate in a discussion. Okay, I don't want to be as a monologue type of a class.
Sir, these variations could be mountainous, sir.
Please.
Plains.
Okay. Now, Abdul, you know that then Hamid and Abdul, you know about this one, that at some places we find mountains.
Yes, sir.
But we do not find the mountain at all the places, even in India also. Can you find any variations in terms of the earth's surface? Okay, this is our India. This is our India, and you can find the variation very easily over to the surface part of the of our country. Okay, you can find a mountainous region into the northern part. You can easily,
yes,
you can find a mountainous regions into the northern part, and then you can take a plateau region. You can take a plateau region into the southern part of the India. You can take a plateau region here. This is a plateau part. This is a mountainous region. This is a complete mountainous region. We have a complete desert region here. We have a desert region here. Okay. On the coastal side, we have a coastal part here on both the side of our country. On the Arabian Sea side also, and on the Bay of Bengal side also, and on the Arabian Sea side also, we have a coastal region. Okay, so we have a variation. Okay, and the study of these variation could be called to be as a geography. Now, when we use this word study, Muskan, are you getting my point? When we use this word study, what it means, the study means a scientific study. It is not just you are observing the things, or you are just bringing a description about about the certain geographical features. It is about a scientific study. Now, can anyone tell me what is a scientific study? Can anyone tell me what is a scientific study? When your study is called to be as a scientific?
when we have research about
Sir,
that.
we will see their origin, sir, their height, their length, or we will get some important, sir, points from their fossils, sir.
Okay, okay, I got your point. Any other idea about scientific study? Muskan, any other idea about scientific study? Okay, is there anyone in the class who want to contribute in this idea of scientific study, the meaning of scientific study?
When people research about it.
Okay, when people research about it. Okay, and yeah, Muskan.
Yes, sir.
Systematic research.
Okay, okay. So just try to understand this point, that the meaning of a scientific study is a study which is objective, a study which is objective. Okay, and what is the meaning of objectivity? The meaning of the objectivity is that it is same for everyone. Same for everyone. A study which try to understand a causal factor, causal relationships. Causal relationships. Causal relationship means that try to understand why mountains are found at specific places. Why we have a delta here? Why we have deltas? Okay.
We can say causes
How
of
river,
situations.
however, how river course develops. How river course develop. Reasons behind climate change. Reasons behind climate change, that could be one of the area of concern about the geography. Okay, so causal relationship. Why the people, if we took it in terms of the man-made surface, why people settle at places, or why industries are located only in a required regions. We do not find the iron and steel industry in all the part of our country. Okay, we have a specific locations for our specific industries. You got this point, guys? You got this point? So when we are trying to understand that why we have, suppose for example there is a question. Okay, suppose for example there is a question, and the question is that why we have success of green revolution. I hope most of you are aware about this term green revolution. Okay, I hope most of you are aware about this term green revolution. Why we have a success of green revolution? Only in a limited part of the country. Why we have the success of green revolution only in a limited part of the country, which includes only a part of Punjab, Haryana, okay, or part of Western UP. Why we have a success? Why the green revolution did not bring much result into the eastern part of the India, even though there is a good and fertile land, but the eastern part of the India remain untouched. Remain untouched because remain untouched of this green revolution. Not much changes you can observe, or not much impact of the green revolution you can observe into the eastern part of the country. Now these are the questions to study. Okay, now study does not mean that you study the things in any manner. The study here should be scientific. Why? Because scientific study are only studies which are predictable, which are objective, which are reliable, and which can be utilized for development of theories, models, or in terms of governance, you can say they can be utilized in terms of policies, for designing your policies, or for the management of an area, or you can say area management. You got this point? So as I discussed with you, that geography as a subject, if we go etymologically means we break the word. Geo means earth, and graphy means graphios, which means a study. So you can literally say that geography is a study of earth. Now we can elaborate it that the study of the earth is not the area of concern of geography. Even the geology tend to study about the earth, or many other subjects tend to study about the earth, and they are collectively called to be as a earth sciences. They are collectively called to be as a earth sciences. But what is the difference between a geography and the other subject? The difference is that geography is concerned about the earth's surface only. And to study the earth's surface, we take two different definitions, two different aspects of the earth's surface. One is which is naturally made, natural. Okay, no interference of the human is there. It is naturally created. And another one is which is created by the man. And in both the cases, we have what we are having? We have a variation. And variations are caused by some factors. There are factors which are causing those variations. So studying these variations, studying means scientifically studying these variations, could be a subject matter of geography. This point is clear, guys. This point is clear. I hope this point is clear to all. Okay, studying the subject of the geography, that is studying these variations, could be called to be as a subject of the geography, or you can also say that geography is a study of areal differentiation. This is what a functional definition of a geography is, and this is what a definition of a geography we tend to take in present time, that a geography is a study of areal differentiation. Now the point here is that what is the meaning, what type of the earth we will take? What is the meaning of the earth we will take? We will take the solid part of the earth, or we will take the gaseous part surrounding the earth, or we will take the liquid part of the earth, or we will take living part of the earth. Guys, am I clear? Am I clear, guys? Am I clear to all? तुम लोग ओके, मेरी ख्याल से आवाज मेरी बिल्कुल क्लियर आ रही होगी, और कोई भी चीज होती है आप चैट बॉक्स में मेंशन करो उसे. ओके, थोड़ा सा मुझे पता रहेगा कि आप लोग सबको समझ में आ रहा है, मेरी बातें समझ में आ रही है, क्योंकि देखो हमारे और आपके बीच में एक इंटरफेस है. देयर इज एन इंटरफेस बिटवीन यू एंड मी. ओके, और ये टेक्नोलॉजी है, जब तक अच्छी चलेगी तब तक बहुत अच्छा चलेगा, इसलिए बार बार पूछना पड़ेगा ही पड़ेगा. कुछ कल्चरल लैग भी हैं, क्योंकि वी पीपल आर नॉट सो मच in India especially, we are not so much accustomed to this way of learning, or we are not habitual of this way of learning, and we are developing this habit of learning either forcefully or any other, or just because of the situations. We don't have any other medium to learn, and we also do not have any other medium to teach students or come in contact with the students, so we are using this interface. Okay, so in that sense, it is very important that you should learn how to provide the feedback. Now there are two ways of giving the feedback. You can open your chat box, you can type in this one, so that this could be one way. And if you have any concern which you find that you may have difficulty in typing it, you can open your mic and ask your question. Okay, no problem. So in the case of the Earth, the issue is whether we should take a solid part of the Earth, or we should take a gaseous part of the Earth, or we should take a liquid part of the Earth, or we should take a living part of the Earth. As I told you, geography is a study of the Earth, but Earth consists of solid, liquid, gases, and the living component or the living part. So what we should include? Okay, so as a study of the Earth, we include all the four components of the Earth, and we have named these components. The name of the solid component is geosphere. Name of the solid component is a geosphere. Another component is a gaseous component, and we have called it to be as an atmosphere. And the third component is our liquid part, obviously water part, and we have called it to be as a hydrosphere. And the fourth one is called to be as a living part of the Earth, and we have called it to be as a biosphere. So what type of the variation you will find? Okay, the variation you can find in a geosphere also. Geosphere means the variation on the geosphere means at some places you have a mountain, at some places you have a plains. That is a variation in the geosphere. You can also find a variation into the atmosphere also, because there are different weathers and climate at a different places. So variation into the atmosphere also you can find in a different part of the Earth. And you have a variation in terms of a hydrosphere also, and you have a variation in terms of a biosphere also. You got this point, guys? You have a variation in terms of a biosphere also. Okay, so again I will say that geography tend to study all these variations. Geography tend to study all these variations at all the components of the Earth, and that is why a geography is called to be as a study of aerial differentiation. Generally we call it to be as a study of Earth's surface, okay, but in a better sense we call it to be as a study of aerial differentiation. Is it clear? Is it clear, guys? Hamid, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, when we talk about the geosphere, guys, whatever I am discussing with you right now, you will find them in a 11th or 12th class NCERT. But मैंने जो क्लास में डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ वो उससे भी ज्यादा ही होगा. Okay, so when we are talking about the geosphere means a solid part of the Earth. And the solid part of the Earth can be taken as in a cross section. If we take a cross section of the solid part of the Earth, then the top part can be called to be as a lithosphere. Okay, after that you can call it to be as a asthenosphere, and then you can call it to be as a mesosphere, and then you can call it to be as a barysphere. This point is clear to all. Is this point clear to all? Or in other sense, because there are different way of classifying the solid part of the Earth in a concentric rings or in a concentric regions, and sometimes we define the Earth, or we take a solid part of the Earth in some concentric sense also, and we can take it to be as we can take it to be as a upper part. You can call it to be as a crust, and then inside the crust, okay, if you go inside, we take another part that is called to be as a mantle,
and core.
and we take the third one to be as a core. Okay, we will discuss about these interior of the earth in a length and breadth in a proper detail, okay, later on in the classes. But for present class, for the purpose of the present class, you can take it to be as a lithosphere. Okay, and the lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere, and bathysphere. Litho means, guys, litho means rocks. What is the meaning of litho? Litho means rocks. So lithosphere means a part of earth made of rocks. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Is it clear? Sanjoy Burman, is it clear? Okay. So part of the earth made of rock, that is called to be as a lithosphere. And asthenosphere means, astheno means weak. Weak. Okay. Or a part of the earth which is weak. Weak here means which flows like a plastic. Which flows like a plastic under pressure. That is called to be as a asthenosphere. Okay. And as far as our lithosphere is concerned, the lithosphere is broken into various parts. The lithosphere is broken into various parts. And these parts are called, what we could name these parts? Lithosphere is broken into parts. And these parts are called, what we name these parts? As plates. So the solid part of the earth is called geosphere. Solid part of the earth is called geosphere. Solid part of the earth. We can call the solid part of the earth to be as geosphere. And the gaseous part of the earth is called to be as a atmosphere. And the liquid part of the earth is called to be as a hydrosphere. And the living part of the earth is called biosphere. Jab mandal bolenge usse. Living part of the earth is called biosphere. And very interesting thing to begin with is that all these are called as a realm of earth. realm of earth. Okay. और हिंदी में हम बोल सकते हैं पृथ्वी के मंडल या भूमंडल. This point is clear? This point is clear? So I think now you have an idea about what the nature of a geography is. Okay, what the nature of the geography is. That we generally confine the definition of a geography to a very limited area. Okay, in a broader sense, a geography means a study of the Earth's surface, or in a much broader sense, it means that it is a study of variations on the Earth's surface. Okay, and its surrounding. So surrounding regions may include the gaseous part also, liquid part also, and also in terms of a living component also. So that is the basic meaning of a geography. We can start for a general studies class. Now, if you have an optional class, we will discuss the meaning of the geography in much better details. But for a general studies class, you can start with this idea of a geography. And always remember that geography, in geography, the study means scientific study. Okay. Many a times the student believe that, or the students have a notions about the geography is that geography is about mountain, rivers, where the national parks are, okay, where the different mountains are located, what is the length of the river, okay, what is it? That is a GK part of the geography. That is not a geography. You can study these concepts in any GK book. उसके लिए कोई क्लास ज्वाइन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You can go in a market and just purchase a book of 100 rupees or 70 rupees or 100 or 150 rupees, okay, of any publication, and you can collect the facts about the geography from that book. उसके लिए कोई class join करने की जरूरत नहीं. No need to. And these type of the trivial facts are not at all important for your civil services examination. Okay, they are not at all important for your civil services examination. And even if they are questions related to that, okay, then most of the questions related to the factual part of the geography are mostly connected with the current affairs. Okay, so your idea of understanding the geography is through a scientific method. Okay, now as I told you that a geography means study of earth. Now, in order to study the earth in a proper manner, we need to first understand the earth, the nature of the earth. What is the nature of the earth? Okay, what is the nature of the earth? We need to understand it. Okay, now to understand the nature of the earth, we have understood it in terms of 4 realms: about the geosphere, biosphere. We have discussed about the atmosphere and about the hydrosphere. Now, nature of the earth could be understood in terms of a realm and also in terms of the interior of the earth. Interior of the earth, or nature of the material on earth, and which we generally tend to study in an area of our rocks. Okay, now we will discuss about a very important topic, and that is called to be as a, in order to understand the nature of the earth, we need to first understand that how we tend to study the earth and how the different places are located over to the earth's surface, and how we take a method of what is our method of locating the different places over to the earth's surface. Okay, now what is the scientific way of, or what is the scientific criteria of demarcating the different regions of the earth? And for that, we have taken some imaginary lines. We have taken some imaginary lines. We have taken some imaginary lines. And these imaginary lines, okay, there are some imaginary lines which are horizontal. And there are some imaginary lines which are perpendicular. Always remember that they are imaginary lines. Okay, they are imaginary lines. So Dave, I think you have a disturbance from your background. I think there are some disturbance from your background. Please switch off your mic. Okay, now imaginary line. There are some imaginary lines. I repeat this. These are the imaginary lines. They are not carved on the Earth's surface. They are not created on the Earth's surface. We have taken them for our convenience, and we have not marked the Earth's surface with some lines and some boundaries. Okay, we have not created any such visible boundaries. We have just assumed certain boundaries, okay, for a geography, in terms of a geography. And these lines, if we take these lines horizontal, if we take these lines horizontally, okay, then they are called to be as a, what we name them? They are called to be as a latitude. They are called to be as a latitude. And if we take these lines perpendicular, okay, if we take these lines perpendicular, then they are called to be as a longitude. I hope is it clear to you? Is it clear to all? Is it clear to all?
Yes.
Okay, now guys, before going into the much more details of the latitude and longitude, we will try to understand that what is the planetary position of the Earth, or Earth in a solar system, planetary position of Earth. And for this, we need to understand what is the position of the earth with respect to the sun, and what are the different types of the motions of the earth. What are the different types of the motions of the earth? So I'll open the slide and I will make it more clear to you. By this slide, I think the things would be clear to you. Okay, and this is okay. Is it visible to all? Is it visible? Just a minute.
No, sir.
Just a minute. Just a minute, guys. Is it visible now? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, तो मेरे ख्याल से आप सबको क्लियर समझ दिख रहा होगा इसमें. So we need to understand the nature of the earth with respect to the sun, position of the earth with respect to the sun, and for that we need to first understand what is the planetary characteristics of the earth. Now, when we say about the planetary characteristics of the earth, okay, the meaning of planetary characteristics of the earth. Okay, what is a planetary? So we need to understand the shape of the earth. What is the shape of the earth? Okay, and what is the meaning of axial tilt? The meaning of axial tilt. Okay, so we will first try to understand the planetary characteristics of the earth. Earth as a planet, we will first try to understand, and then we will try to understand the axial tilt of the earth with respect to the sun or with respect to its orbit. Okay, हिंदी में बोल रहा हूं कि पृथ्वी की सबसे पहले हमें उसकी आकृति के बारे में देखना है, शेप ऑफ द अर्थ, एंड फिर उसके बाद उसका हमें अक्षीय झुकाव जो होता है, एक्सियल टिल्ट जो होता है, वो हमने इस चीज को देखना है. ओके, सो विल प्रोग्रेस टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड नाउ. Okay, this is a shape of the earth. Okay, this is the shape of the earth. The exact shape of the earth is still we do not study in a geography, because the exact shape of the earth is not like this. It is the exact shape of the earth is like a pear shape. It is a pear shape earth. The earth is somewhat like this. It is a pear shape, नाशपाती की तरीके से है. But for our understanding in a geography, we take it to be like this shape, and this shape indicates that the earth is bulged. There are bulged, okay, from the middle part, and there are flattening from the top. Is it clear, guys? There are bulge, okay, there are bulge from the middle part, okay, and there are flats at the top. Is this clear? This is the shape of the earth. This is the shape of the earth. Okay, so earth seems to be having a very bulged tummy or belly from the middle part, and it is relatively flatter from both the end, from both the tops. From the top, you can say from this side also, and from the bottom side also, the earth seems to be quite flat. Okay, so therefore the shape of the earth is not a sphere. This is not a sphere. Why it is not a sphere? Because if it is if it has to be a sphere, it means that the distance of all the points on the periphery should be same from the center, but it is not the case with the earth. Okay, so therefore the shape of the earth is taken to be as a spheroid. We take the shape of the earth to be as a spheroid, and here the shape of the earth is better defined as, in terms of a geometrical shape, it is called to be as a oblate spheroid. This point is clear. This point is clear, guys. Is this point clear to all? Muskan, Prateek, is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone in the class who is having problem in understanding the English or the way I'm discussing the concepts? Is there anyone in the class?
No, no, sir.
I think the things are very much clear and in front of you with this visual, and I'm also writing on the slides. So I hope it's very easy to understand. Okay,
Yes,
but
sir.
still, in case if you have any doubt, you can send me a message. You can send your message in a chat box, and you can also raise your hand to ask the doubt. Okay, I think Santosh has raised the hand. So Santosh, yeah, please continue.
Sir, you tell, sir.
Yeah, please, Santosh, I can hear you. Continue, please.
सर मेरे को कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं समझ रहे सर.
You are not able to understand the English, or you have a difficulty in Hindi?
No sir, some concept did not understand.
Okay, just tell me which concept you are unable to understand.
I am in South India, sir, in Telangana.
No, you are in Telangana. I mean to you told me that you did not understand some concept. Okay, so which
Some
concept you find difficulty?
that's flat to blood middle center, sir.
Okay, I said that. Okay, you may be having some problem with the English language, so
Yes, sir.
try to understand this one. Okay, now you can see that the earth seems to be bulged. Bulge, you understand? You understand the meaning of a bulge?
No sir.
You don't understand the meaning of a bulge. Have you ever seen a person having a bulged belly or a tummy? This is a bulge which is created, and this is called to be, this is a bulge part and this is a flattened part. And due to this reason, we do not call the earth to be as a perfect sphere. Due to this reason, we do not call the earth to be as a perfect sphere. This point is clear. We call the earth to be as a spheroid. The word that we use for the shape of the earth is a spheroid. And a better word, if any option is there, a better geometrical word is oblate spheroid.
Okay, sir.
This point is clear. This is a geometrical shape of the earth. Okay. Now, what is the name of this geometrical shape? What is the name of this geometrical shape? Yeah, please, Santosh. What is the name of this geometrical shape?
Shape of the sphere, sir.
It is this one. You can see the screen or not? This one. What is the name of this geometrical shape? Okay, the name of geometrical shape is triangle. What is the name of this geometrical shape? It is circle.
Circle.
Okay, I think it seems to be very easy to understand. Is there any, please give me the feedback, students. I think it's very easy to understand. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so try to understand this point. So similarly, we have given a name of a shape of the earth, and that shape name is called to be as a spheroid, or in better term, we call it to be as a oblate spheroid. Now, the meaning of the spheroid is it is flattened at the top and bulged at the center. In the middle part, it is bulged and it is flattened at the top. This is the typical characteristics of a spheroid. Okay, this is a typical characteristics of a spheroid. Okay, Pratik, you have any doubt? Pratik Yadav, any
Yes,
doubt?
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, can we call it a geoid shape?
No, actually, geoid is not a proper word. Geographers do not use the word geoid. The word geoid may be written in some GK type of a book. Geoid means the shape which looks like a earth. So how can you say that a earth looks like a earth? Is it a good way of saying the earth, or is it a good way of defining the earth, the shape of the earth? That earth is a geoid. Geoid means something which looks like a earth. Okay. So can you say that the earth looks like a earth?
No, sir.
Okay. So the better word, generally what happened that the people who want to teach the subject for a general knowledge purpose, they use this word geoid. But the better word is oblate spheroid. Okay. Okay, the exact word that we can use in the context of the shape of the earth is a oblate spheroid. This point is clear. Now we can move to the next slide. If the shape of the earth is clear, then we can move to the next slide. Okay. Now the next part is that we need to understand that how the different types of the motions of the earth we have. Okay, different types of the motions of the earth we have. Okay. Now try to understand this point. Now, generally, we take two types of the movement of the earth or the motions of the earth. And these motions of the earth, is earth rotation, and the another is called to be as a revolution. I hope most of you can understand the difference between a rotation and revolution. Okay. Rotation means that the earth rotates around its own axis. This point is clear. This point is clear, guys. Rotation means that the earth rotates around its own axis. Earth rotation on its own axis. Okay. And the central part of the earth or the middle part of the earth is generally termed to be as a, we call the word that we use for a middle part of the earth or a line which we use to be as a middle line of the earth is called to be as a equator. Okay. And the rotation of the earth is taking place around a imaginary axis. This axis is taking place around a imaginary axis, and we generally term it to be as a earth axis. You can imagine the axis in any type of the rotation, in any type of the rotation. Okay. In any type of the rotation, suppose if I'm taking a rotation in this form, you can imagine you can just imagine the axis where we can take the axis. Okay. So you can imagine the axis that the earth, if anything is rotating, then there must be axis. Now, axis is not something which is a physical feature. It is something which we can imagine about the axis. Okay. So we have a movement of the earth, and that movement of the earth is first type of the movement that we generally study is a rotation of the earth. And another type of the movement that we study is about the revolution of the earth. Revolution means the earth also revolves around the sun like all other planets. Okay, you know that earth is a part of our solar system, and all the planets into the solar system tend to revolve around the sun. This is what the characteristics of the planet is. Okay. So this is what a definition part of a planet also. A planet is any celestial body which revolves around the sun is called to be as a planet. We call it to be as a planet, or there are some other additive features also to be called to be as a planet. Okay, so that is called to be as a planet. And if any celestial body revolves around any planet, then it is called to be as a satellite. We call it to be as a satellite. These are some of the basic definition we tend to take, that planet. Okay, sun is our star, okay, of the solar system. Sun is a star of the solar system, and celestial bodies revolving around the sun is called to be as a planet, or any celestial body revolving around the planet is called to be as a satellite. I hope this is a very basic part which most of us have learned in our beginning classes. Okay, in our beginning classes of our school years. Okay, I think most of us have already learned about it. So we take two types of the movement of the earth. One is rotation. And what is the outcome of the rotation, guys? What is the outcome of rotation we find?
Day and night.
Yes, day and night. Abdul, are you there? Day and night. Okay. Okay. Day and night are the outcomes of earth rotation. And what are the outcomes of earth revolution? What are the outcomes of earth revolution? We call it to be as the changes in season. We find winter season, we find summer season. Okay, changes in the seasons are the outcome of this revolution. I hope this point is clear to all. Is there any doubt in this point? Any doubt in this point that we have two types of the motions of the earth? One is a rotation and another is a revolution. Rotation means that the earth rotate around its axis, and as a result of this rotation, we have a phenomena of day and night. Okay, and as a result of this revolution, the rotation takes place approximately 24 hours. Is a duration of a rotation. Generally, you can take it to around 23 hours and this and that minute also. So to be very precise, you can call it in that sense also. But for our study, we can take it to be as a 24 hours. And 24 hours means a day, a complete day means. And day is divided into two parts. A day is divided into two parts, darker part and a lighter part. Darker part and a lighter part. Okay. And the darker part is called to be as a night. And the lighter part is called, generally we call it to be as a day or illuminated part. Illuminated. I hope this point is clear to you. Okay. Now revolution results into the changes into the season. This point is clear to all. Is this point clear to all? Then we can move to the next slide. Now, as far as the nature of the earth as a planet is concerned, okay, nature of the earth as a planet is concerned, then we can see that the structure of the earth, okay, if we look to the structure of the earth, the shape of the earth we have taken is it in terms of an oblate spheroid. We have already taken the shape of the earth is in terms of oblate spheroid. And as far as the further characteristics of the earth is concerned, we take an axis, and the axis is passing through a region, okay, from one part of the globe to the another part of the globe. And that part of the globe, we call the upper part of the globe is called to be as a North Pole, from where we assume the axis is passing. And we take the another part of the globe to be as a South Pole, where we assume the axis is also coming out. So we can assume that the Earth is rotating around this axis, and the northern part of that axis is called to be as a North Pole, and the southern part of this axis is called to be as a South Pole. Now, remember one thing, that as the Earth is not a sphere, and if we take a center of the Earth, then the distance from the North Pole to the center of the Earth, okay, and the distance, and if we take this distance, okay, then these two distances are not going to be the same. Now, suppose, for example, if we take this distance to be as a R1 and if we take this distance to be as a R2, then you will find that R2 is greater than R1. Can anyone tell me why it is so? That why the R2 is greater than R1? Because there is a bulge in the middle part of the Earth. We have already discussed oblate spheroid. Okay, therefore the R2 is going to be greater than the R1. Now, for our understanding or for our use of terminologies, okay, in geography, we can call this one R1 as a polar diameter, and we can call it to be in terms of a, we can use it in terms of a equatorial radius, and we can call it to be as a polar radius. Now, if we combine the pole to pole, then we can get a polar diameter. And if we take a complete length here, we can call it to be as an equatorial diameter. And you can easily find, if you can subtract these two values, then you can find that the difference between a polar diameter and an equatorial diameter is of 42 kilometer. And therefore you can 42 kilometer. And therefore you can say that the equatorial radius and a polar radius has a difference of around 21 kilometer. Is this point clear to all? Okay, so what it means, it also means that the polar region are much closer to the center. In comparison to the equatorial region. Okay, in comparison to the central part of the Earth, the central regions of the Earth are farther from the center. The middle part of the Earth is farther from the center of the Earth in comparison to the polar region. Okay, and why so? Why so we have these differences? The differences is in the shape of the Earth, and the shape of the Earth is oblate spheroid. Okay, and due to which the middle part of the Earth you can find to be having a bulge here, and it is at the flattened here, and it seems to be closer to the center, and it seems to be farther from the center. Another important characteristics about the Earth is the rotation of the Earth. Okay, we have already discussed the rotation of the Earth, and whenever we are using this word rotation, okay, whenever we are taking this word rotation, then we need to use the word axis also, because without the axis the rotation cannot be assumed. Rotation is taking place around the axis. Okay, so when we are taking in terms of a rotation, then we are assuming an axis also, and that axis is called to be as the Earth axis. Now you can also find that the Earth axis is not a perpendicular one. The axis of the Earth is tilted from the perpendicular. It is tilted from the perpendicular, and this tilt, okay, is of around 23.5 degree. The tilt is considered to be around of 23.5 degree. This is a tilt of the Earth. This point is clear. And what is the significance of this tilt? The significance of this tilt is that we can see the changes in season. Always remember that the changes in season is not the result of only a revolution part of the Earth. Keep this fact or keep this concept in your mind, that the changes into the season is not the result of only revolution of the Earth. Okay, suppose for example, if the Earth is not tilted from its axis, or it is a perpendicular, the axis is perpendicular to the orbital plane. This is the orbit of the Earth. This is the orbit of the Earth, and the axis is perpendicular to the orbit of the plane. Okay, then in that cases you may not find a changes into the season. You will find a same type of the characteristics throughout the year at a particular place. So the changes of the seasons are just because two factors. One is a revolution, and another is a tilt of the axis. So you can easily say that the changes into the season are the result of revolution of the earth on a tilted axis. This point is clear, guys. This point is clear. This point is clear. Okay, Abdul, is this point clear?
Yes.
Okay, means changes on the changes of season are a result of, Abdul, please repeat. Changes in season are the result of, yeah,
Revolution.
not only revolution, Abdul, revolution on a tilted axis. You got this point, Abdul? You got this point?
Yes.
If suppose, for example, our earth is not tilted, will you get the seasons? Will you get the seasons still? Will you get the seasons? No, you will not get the seasons. The seasons are revolution plus tilt of the axis. This point is clear. This point is clear. This point is clear, guys. This point is clear to all. Is this point clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, now try to understand this point again, that the changes into the season are result of revolution on a tilted axis, revolution of the earth on a tilted axis. If we don't have a tilted axis, then we will not find changes into the season. Okay, so keep this fact and an important concept to understand some higher things in the geography. Okay, now if you miss these basic concepts of the geography, then you will find geography very difficult for you. But you should keep these concepts very handy for you, and you just try to understand the science behind it. Okay, then it is going to be very easy for you. Okay, now try to understand, as I told you, that we will also discuss about the imaginary lines. Okay, and I have already said that there are two types of the imaginary lines that we take over to the earth's surface. And the first type of the imaginary line that we take is a latitude, and the second type of the imaginary line that we take it to be as a longitude. Now, what is the meaning of a latitude? Okay, latitude means the angular distance north and south of the equator. The angular distance north and south of the equator measured in degree and minutes. Angular distance north and south of the equator measured in degree and minutes. Okay, now try to understand this one. Try to understand, guys. Now, I said that angular distance. Do you understand the meaning of angular distance? Suppose this is a circle, okay, and this is a center. Okay, this is a center. This is a point A, okay, and this is a point B. Now, suppose if we want to take an angular distance, then the angular distance are generally expressed in terms of a degree. The angular distance. This point is clear. This point is clear, and that is why the latitudes are generally expressed in terms of a degree. So we say that angular distance north and south of the equator measured in degree and minutes. That is called to be as a latitude. Okay, we generally term it to be as a latitude. Okay, so we take a center of the earth and we take a line passing through the center of the earth, and we keep on taking angular distances. We keep on taking an angle. So what is going to be the maximum angle up to this point? What is going to be the maximum angle? Suppose this is a point A, this is a point B, and this is a point C. Okay, so what is going to be the angular distance? What is going to be the angular distance, or you can say measured in terms of a degree? At the B point, the angular distance from the A would be 90 degrees. This point is clear. This point is clear. Now, suppose we take another point C. The angular distance as expressed in terms of a degree would be any angle which it makes with reference to the center, and that is going to be the measure of the latitude of that place. That is going to be the measure of the latitude of that place. Suppose the angle is 10 degrees, then this particular latitude is going to be a 10-degree latitude. Now, the central part of the earth, or a line passing through the center of the earth, or the central latitude, is generally termed to be as a, we call it to be as a equator. The central latitude is called to be as a equator. The term that we use is a equator for a central latitude. Keep this point in mind, that the term that we use for a central latitude is called to be as a equator, And equator, as we have taken it to be as a central latitude, therefore the degree of the latitude that we will take for equator is 0. It is going to be a 0 degree. And all the other latitudes would be measured as a reference from the equator. This point is clear. Now the latitudes that we take, this is the equator, central latitude. The latitude that we take to the north of the equator, that is called to be as a northern latitudes. And the latitudes that we take to the south of the equator is called to be as a southern latitudes. This point is clear, guys. This point is clear. Is this point clear to all?
Yes.
Is this point clear to all?
Sir.
Okay. I hope this point is very much clear to everyone. And if still anyone is having a doubt, he can raise his hand. He or she can raise his hand, his or her hand. Sorry. No doubts. Okay. So we can move further now. So what we have discussed till now, that we take a central latitudes are the angular distance measured from the equator, taken from the equator and measured in degree n. We generally tend to measure them in terms of a degree n minutes. Okay. Now the central latitude is called to be as a equator, and which you can call it to be as a horizontal plane or a central latitude. And this central latitude divides the earth. We take the central latitude, and this central latitude divides the earth into two parts. One is called to be as a northern hemisphere, and another is called to be as a southern hemisphere. Okay, two equal half. The earth is divided into two equal half, okay, by this central latitude, and which we call it to be as a equator. Okay, and this is the northern half is called to be as a northern hemisphere, and the southern half is called to be as a southern hemisphere. And all the latitudes which we are taking into a northern hemisphere would be called to be as a northern latitude, and all the latitudes that we will take in a southern hemisphere will be called as a southern latitude. This point is clear, guys. This point is clear. Now you need to understand an idea of a great circle also here. Okay, great circle, the idea of a great circle. What is the meaning of a great circle? Okay, so I will use a whiteboard here just to make it more easy for you to understand. Okay, now try to understand this point. Okay, and point here is about the great circle. What is the meaning of a great circle? Okay, now great circle का मतलब ये नहीं है कि कोई महान कोई चीज आने वाली है आपके सामने. Okay, it is just a geometrical term which we use. Okay, it is just a geometrical term. Now try to understand. This is a circle we take. This is a globe we can take. Prateek, please switch off your mic or mute your mic, please. Please mute your mic. And suppose we have taken this to be as a replica of our globe, or you can say it to be as a representative of our globe. And if I ask you that you cut this globe into two equal parts, passing through the center, and if I ask you that you cut the globe into two equal parts, passing through the center, how you can do this one? Suppose you have a watermelon, you take it to be as a watermelon. If not interested, you can take it to be as a watermelon. Okay, you can take it to be as a watermelon. And suppose you take this to be as a watermelon and you want to divide the watermelon into two parts. So how you can do this one in an equal form? You can cut from here also. You can take a cut from here. What will happen? You can see one part, and you can this could be the one part where you can see the surface here, and there could be another part. Okay, and another part, and you can call these two parts as a hemisphere of the earth. And this cross section that you are seeing here, this is the same one. This and this is the same cross section. You can call this cross section to be as an equatorial plane. Equatorial plane. And this entire region to the north of the equatorial plane can be called to be as a northern hemisphere, and this entire region to the south of the equatorial plane can be called to be as a southern hemisphere. This point is clear. Now you can see that this equatorial plane has divided the earth into two equal parts, passing through the center. So you can call this equatorial plane to be as a great circle. So what is the definition of a equatorial? What is the definition of a great circle? A definition of a great circle is that a plane, which plane means पटल जिसको हम बोलेंगे, plane का मतलब बोलने वाला plane की बात नहीं कर रहे हम, okay? A plane which divides the earth into two equal parts passing through center. A very important condition is passing through center. Then only it is to be called as a, then only it is going to be called as a great circle. Is this point clear, guys? Is this point clear? लोकेंद्र यादव तुम बड़ा परेशान हो रहे हो, तुम्हें मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि तुम्हें क्यों तुम बार बार अंदर बाहर हो जा रहे हो। लोकेंद्र क्यों तुम बार बार कभी एंटर कर रहे हो, कभी एग्जिट कर रहे हो, क्या चक्कर है तुम्हारा ये? ओके, सो पासिंग थ्रू द सेंटर, and that is to be called as a great circle. So can we say that equator is a great circle? Equatorial plane is a great circle? क्या बोल सकते हैं बच्चों ऐसा? Is it right to say?
Yes, sir. We can say equator
Is a great circle. Now keep this definition in mind. Keep this definition in mind, and I'll discuss it further. Okay, keep this definition in mind. A plane which divides the earth, okay, into two equal parts passing through the center, it is to be called as a great circle. Okay, now we'll go back to our slides. Now we'll go back to our slide, and okay, guys, I think just a minute, guys. There is now, is it visible? Is it visible to all? Okay, now try to understand this concept. Now, so we have already done with this one, this idea we have already done. We are done with this idea that what is the meaning of a latitude, and latitudes are the imaginary line, and equator is a central latitude and also called to be as a great circle. Is the slide visible to all? Slide सबको दिख रही है ना? कोई है ऐसा इसका जिसको slide नहीं दिख रही है? Slide is visible to all? अरे बोलो बच्चों, तभी हम आगे।
Yes, sir.
ओके, थोड़ा सा ना मुझे हाँ या ना में बताते रहो, क्योंकि ऐसे मुझे ऐसा लगेगा बस मैं ही बोल रहा हूँ और आप लोग तक मेरी कॉन्सेप्ट पहुंच रहा है या नहीं पहुंच रहा है, ये थोड़ा सा एक डाउट रहता है हमेशा जब हम टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज कर रहे होते हैं। तो इसलिए आप भी जानते हैं ना, आर्मी में बार बार बोला जाता है रॉजर दैट, कॉपी दैट, ओके। तो होता है ना कि ताकि द कम्युनिकेशन, बिकॉज फीडबैक इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ अ गुड कम्युनिकेशन एंड इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन। ओके, so keep on giving me the feedback कि भाई समझ में आ रहा है आपको, and things are clear to you. Okay, now अब इसी तरीके से we have an idea, so you can take this way also to understand the idea of a latitude. This is the equator, this is the equator, and this is the equator, and you can keep on making the angle from the equator to the northern side and the southern side, and you can find the latitude. So northern latitude and southern latitude. And if you go up to 90 degree, it is to be called as a North Pole. And if you go to the 90 degree south, it is called to be as a South Pole. And the 90 degree north is to be called as a North Pole. This point is clear. Now we can move to the next idea of after going through this one, we can take some much better information about the latitudes. Now the latitudes,
Okay, sir.
Latitudes are, there are some latitudes which are very important for our climatology and in our geography. We have taken some reference latitude. Now always remember, there is another word we use for latitudes. There is another word which we tend to use for latitude. And the another word which we tend to use for the latitude is parallels. is called parallels. Okay, it's called parallels. The another word that we use for latitude is a parallels. And why they are parallels? Because they never meet. Because they never meet. That is why they are called to be as a parallels. We call them to be as a parallels because they never meet. So this is what the that is why sometimes in some books it is written to be as a 23rd parallel or 25th parallel. Okay, so they, whenever they are writing this word parallel or they are using this word parallel, they are taking a reference of latitude. This point is clear. This point is clear. Okay, now length of the latitude. Another important point about the latitude is the length of the latitude. Every latitude is having its own length. This is the equator, so equator is going to be of maximum length. This is the side of the equator which is visible to you. There is a back side of the equator also. There is a back side of the equator also. So the length of the latitude decreases from equator to pole. So equator is going to be of maximum length, and then as you progresses towards the pole, the length of the latitude will start decreasing. This point is clear. This point is clear, guys. So you can say that the equator is having a maximum length, and towards the pole, the length of the latitude would be approximately 0. It is just a point, so it is going to be a 0. So equator is of maximum length. Okay. Now another important point about the latitude is the distance between the latitudes. What is the distance? Linear distance between the latitudes. So important point here is that the linear distance between the latitude also, there is a changes in the linear distance between the latitude, and this linear distance also changes as we move from equator to pole. Hamid, you can open your mic and you can ask your doubt, please. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay, तुमने हाँ बेटा मेरे को आपकी आवाज सही से नहीं आ रही है हामिद, आवाज सही से नहीं आ रही है आपकी, आवाज बिल्कुल सही नहीं आ रही है आपकी, बिल्कुल आपकी आवाज साफ नहीं आ रही है
सर सेकंड वाला पोस्टुलेट,
क्या चीज, क्या
सर सेकंड वाला पोस्टुलेट फिर से सर ये दीजिए।
हाँ, तो लेंथ ऑफ द लैटिट्यूड जो होती है, अगर हम लेंथ ऑफ द लैटिट्यूड की हम बात करते हैं, तो लेंथ ऑफ द लैटिट्यूड टेंड टू गेट डिक्रीजेस फ्रॉम इक्वेटर टू पोल. It tend to get decreases from equator to pole. Equator is having a maximum length, okay, and at the pole it is going to be the minimum bump or equivalent to 0. You can take it to be as a 0. The length of the 90-degree north latitude is 0. So the point here is that from equator to pole, the length of the latitude decreases. This point is clear. This point is clear. This point is clear, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now equator is having a maximum length. The equator is having a maximum length, and the pole is going to be having a minimum length. Okay. Now there is a linear distances. Linear distance means the distance between two latitudes. Okay, the distance between two. So this is a 0-degree latitude, and you take a 1-degree latitude, 1-degree north latitude. So the linear distance between them, the linear distance between them, between these two latitudes, okay, that also changes from equator to pole. And the linear distance means the linear distance, the characteristic is that it increases from equator to pole. Means that as you move towards the pole, the linear distance would also start increasing. There is a minor change, minor difference is there, that as you move from equator to pole, the linear distance between the latitude will also start increasing. There are people who get confused that why it is increasing. Okay, there may be a confusion in your mind that, sir, why the linear distance between the latitude is increasing? Can anyone explain why it is so? Can anyone explain why it is so? Yeah, Shalini, would you like to try?
Due to bulge.
Huh? Yeah, Hamid, yeah, please.
Due to bulge, sir.
Bulge, it means bulge, na? Due to the bulge, because it is flattened at the pole and it is bulge at the equator. So therefore, the linear distance tend to get increases on the flattening side. Okay, and there is a lesser distance between the two latitude and the bulge side. But on average, you can take
But
it.
sir, at the pole, you say from equator to pole, it is increasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is an increasing in size or the distance from equator to pole.
चल अभी एक मिनट वेट कर, एक मिनट, मैं समझ गया तेरी प्रॉब्लम, मैं समझ गया. ओके बेटा, मैं आपकी प्रॉब्लम को समझ गया, और मुझे 1 मिनट दो, मैं तुम्हें नया डायग्राम बना के दिखाता हूँ। ओके, ऐसे नहीं समझ में आएगा, समझो, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कॉन्सेप्ट। This is the globe. Okay,
Yes, sir.
this is a sphere actually, where the distance are the same from the center. But our Earth is not like this sphere. Our Earth is not like this sphere. Rather, you can say that our Earth is bit flattened as we move on the polar side. Is it right? As we move on a polar side, it gets flattened.
Yes, sir.
Now, suppose, for example, this is your equator, and you are moving to some flatter side. This is the flattened part. You tell me the point distance between the 2 points will get increase, or you have 2 points here, A and B here, and you have a 2 point on the flatter side, C and D. Where the distance is more, between C and D or A and B?
Sir, I understood.
Where the distance is more, guys? Where the distance is more, between C and
On
D
the
or A?
flattened side.
On the flattening side. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is why the linear distance between the latitude increases as we move from equator to pole. ये जो इंक्रीज होता है बड़ा माइनर सा होता है, नेग्लिजिबल है। आप चाहो तो उसको याद भी मत रखो, बट सपोज इफ देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन in your objective in your prelims examination that the linear distance between the latitude tend to get increases from equator to pole, then that is a right statement. You need to take this one. But for your general calculation, you can take that the distance between the two latitude, suppose this is a 0 degree and this is a 1 degree north latitude, then the distance between the two latitude could be taken to be as a 111 kilometer. Okay, guys. Okay, now suppose, for example, what is the advantage of this latitude understanding, or understanding the distance between the two? Now suppose we are in Delhi, 28 degree north is the latitude of our place, and 28 degree north is the latitude of our place, and we have a place Jaipur, and it is at 25 degree north. So how much is going to be the linear distance between the two? 1 degree means 111 kilometer, then the linear distance would come approximately to 3,333 kilometer. So by road you can see that it comes around 250 kilometer between Delhi and Jaipur. Almost the distance is of around 250 or 270 kilometer. If I am not wrong, then the distance would be around 250 to 60 kilometer. So just for your instantaneous calculation, you can take a difference between the two latitudes of the places and you can calculate an instantaneous distance. Just for your instantaneous calculation, you can take it to be as a latitude and the difference of the two latitude multiplied by 111, and you can find a distance, a linear distance between the two places. This is what the importance of the latitude is. Now we'll come back to our further discussion, and again I'll open this. Okay, just a minute, guys. Okay, now we are back to this slide, and this is what we were discussing. Now, so I hope all the points are clear to clear to all of you. Now there is another concept in the context of the latitude, is that we generally tend to use the latitude for zoning of the earth. Zoning of the earth means we divide the earth in a particular zones. Okay. And another important thing, that we take some important reference latitude or a base latitude for zoning the earth. Now we take 23.5 degree north and we also take 23.5 degrees south as our two reference latitude. Okay, as our two reference latitude. Now this latitude is called Tropic of Cancer, and this latitude is called Tropic of Capricorn. This point is clear. This latitude is called Tropic of Cancer, and this is called to be as a Tropic of Capricorn. Now we take another two latitudes. This is 66.5 degree north and this is 66.5 degrees south. Okay. Now this latitude is called Arctic Circle and this latitude is called Antarctic Circle. This point is clear. Is this point clear? Is this point clear?
Yes,
Is this
sir.
point? Okay,
Yes.
so these are the two. We take some reference latitude. Over to the globe, we have taken around 5 reference latitude. One is the equator. Equator is itself a latitude. Another is the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, 2 latitudes. Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle, another reference latitude. And on the basis of these reference latitude, we have divided the Earth into a certain zones. We have taken the Earth into a certain zones. And these zones, between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, the zonal area is called to be as a tropical area. Between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, we call this area to be as a tropical area. Between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle, or between Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle, we generally call it to be as a temperate zone. But for a practical purpose, we take a tropical area up to around 25 degree or sometimes up to 28 degree also. But in conceptual form, we will take it to be as a temperate area. This is called to be as a temperate area. And beyond the Arctic Circle or beyond the Antarctic Circle, we take it to be as a polar area or a frigid zone. This point is clear. So what is the importance of taking the latitude for the demarcation or for the zoning of the Earth? Now I'll show you next slide and you can understand how the zoning of the Earth are taken place with respect to in the context of the latitude, or how the latitudes are taken for the zoning of the Earth. Okay, now you can just see that Earth is divided into 3 parts or zonal areas of the Earth, and you can call it to be as a temperature zones of the Earth. Okay, now the zonal area between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn is called to be as a torrid zone. Between the Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle, it is called to be as a temperate zone, and between Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle, it is called to be as a temperate zone of the southern hemisphere, and beyond this, it is called to be as a frigid zone. This is how we take the idea of a latitude for the zoning of the Earth. This point is clear, guys. This point is clear. This point is clear. Is this point clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. हामिद, अब पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया कि क्यों डिक्रीज हो रहा है? हामिद, अभी भी कोई डाउट बच रहा है तुम्हारा? क्यों डिक्रीज हो रहा है?
नो सर, हो गया क्लियर।
क्लियर हो गया? अब्दुल, या अब्दुल, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the basic idea about the latitude. Now there is another importance of the latitude, okay, and which most of the faculties of the geography or many teachers of the geography and on YouTube and all that, they do not try to teach this concept. Okay, that is about the sun angle. Now sun angle, if you understand the sun angle, you will be able to understand that why we have taken Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn as our reference latitude. Why we have not taken some other latitude? Why we have not taken 25 degree north as our reference Tropic of Cancer? Why we have not taken it? Is there any idea? कोई मुझे बताना चाहेगा? Why we have taken 23.5 north and 23.5 south as Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn respectively? Why we have not taken 24 degree north? Why we have not taken 25 degree north? Now the answer comes from the concept of a sun angle, or you can say the vertical position of the Earth, vertical position of sun. You got this point, guys? You got this point? Vertical position of the sun. Okay, I'll discuss this topic about the sun angle in a next class, because for today's class, I think this is sufficient for you. I will upload the video on YouTube. You can refer the video once again, revise the concept, and then I'll explain you the idea of a sun angle. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So my request is that you watch the video once again. I'll upload it after 1.5 hours. I will upload it on YouTube. Okay. Watch the video once again on a YouTube. I will share the link with you in our Telegram group. The students who are connected to us through Telegram, they can get the link there and watch that video once again. Okay. And in the next class again we will discuss. Tomorrow we are going to have a same topic class in Hindi medium. Is this clear? Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now Pratik or क्या नाम Sukhdev? Sukhdev? Okay. प्रतीक कोई डाउट है इसके अंदर में? प्रतीक बोलो, कोई डाउट है तो
No, sir, but
क्लियर है?
sir,
बिल्कुल
PDF.
बिल्कुल क्लियर है। अब्दुल आपको बिल्कुल क्लियर है?
जी सर, जी सर।
ओके। शेख आयशा, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And okay. So guys, we will meet tomorrow. We will meet in a next class. Please background Sheikh Aisha, please mic switch off कर लीजिएगा अपना. So we will meet again tomorrow, again in the next class, and we will discuss. We will take this concept further, and we will try to understand the idea of a sun angle. Okay. So attend the class, and I hope you will be able to understand the basic concepts of the geography in a very crystal clear manner.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Sir,
Yeah, please, Abdul.
sir, how can I get PDF?